We're live. Countdown. Hello, welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I am Willie Bragg. I would have done a video this morning, but I was incredibly tired, sleepy, and also I needed to get enough adequate rest so I could go work out the gym, for which I did. And now I'm going to do a quick video before I go to work because some thoughts came into my mind about Russia and the United States, NATO, Ukraine. And I'm going to be 53 years old tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'll be 53 years old. And I'm starting to have memories of what it was like in the 1980s. And I think that what I'm going to do, from time to time, I like to add levity to this program, to illustrate things, to make points clearer. And if you never heard of a song called Red Skies by the Fixx, it's about nuclear war. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a karaoke of that song because, as I said, entertainment is part of what I do too. Give me a moment. We shall start this very shortly. Hold tight. Here we go. If I fuck it up, I'm sorry. Red Skies tonight. Here we go. Red Skies tonight. Oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Red Skies tonight. Oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. You have to take it warning. It's just people mourning, running, hiding, lost, couldn't find a place to place. Red Skies tonight, so it's Red Skies tonight. Uh-oh. Oh, 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 oh. Shoot it. Take it warning. Find a place to go. So it's Red Skies tonight. Uh-oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Red Skies tonight. Red Skies tonight. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Someone's taking over. And it looks like they're aiming right at you and me. And everybody, someone says we could be dead by morning. Someone cries, oh, please, Red Skies tonight. Oh, 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 oh. It's a complex song to sing. Red Skies at night. Red Skies at night. Red Skies at night. Red Sky. I'm sorry. It's tonight. Oh, oh. Whoa, oh. Red Sky tonight. Whoa, oh. Whoa, oh. Red Sky tonight. Oh, oh. Oh. Okay, that's enough of that. I fucked it up real good. But that's a song called Red Skies Tonight by the Fixx. It is about nuclear war or the prospects of nuclear war. And they were a relatively mainstream new wave group from the early 80s. And I missed that time period as far as the music was concerned. Now, on a very serious note, I grew up in the 1970s and 1980s. In the 1970s, I grasped the concept of what nuclear war meant when my dad was explaining what all about it. And it used to kind of give me nightmares, at times. Well, and the thing about it is that we thought about it. A lot of us went day to day. We went with our day-to-day lives, but we were thinking about this shit a lot. Like, damn, what happens if America or the Soviets are kind of pissed with each other and decide to go ahead and make the order to go and nuke the other country? Of course, the other country will respond. They call that mutually assured destruction. I think that term came in the 60s, mutually assured destruction. And that pretty much translated into, yeah, we're scared they're going to have nukes, but calmer heads are going to realize what's going to happen on either side if we actually launch a nuke at the other. Now, this is why I have a little bit of anxiety right now these days with regard to the shit that's going on between Ukraine and Russia. And everybody's just kind of rushing toward rattling the sabers. And I have a problem with that because that's going to bring us back to those days of the Cold War. And that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is actual nuclear war. Now, when I was growing in 1983, there was a movie, and I'm going to play you the trailer for this film. It's called The Day After. And it was about what life was like in Kansas after nuclear war. And of course, it's the United States and it's around the world with the aftermath of nuclear weapons. But since we're in America, we're given an American-centric point of view of what life would be like. So I'm going to play you a trailer for that movie because I know there's no copyright dilemma with a trailer. So this is from 1983, and I remember watching this movie as a kid. Give me a moment. Okay. Give me a moment.
159er, and yes, first tower, 6-1.
NATO intelligence sources report a massive buildup.
159, clear for takeoff, all in 5.
Clear ground.
External post check done. The president is presently in direct communication. Your legion close.
Three Soviet tankers deployed.
Current world intelligence situation, and you might pay particular note to the nuclear submarines off the east and west coasts.
Having already captured NATO advanced positions.
Hey,
any of you guys hear anything about an alert?
I really don't think either side wants to be the first to use a nuclear device.
It's not a question of who, but where.
East Germany sealed off the borders to West Berlin, closing the four principal West German access roads.
People are crazy, but not that crazy.
I don't believe this is happening.
We have a massive attack against the U.S. at this time, ICBMs. Over 300 missiles inbound now.
Either we fired first, and they're going to try to hit what's left. But they fired first, and we just got our missiles out of the ground in time.
This is not an exercise.
Millisecond takes you beyond imagining, beyond tomorrow, and into the day after.
Okay, let me go ahead and do this. That movie came out in the fall of 1983, and it has that 1983 sort of hokey feel to it. And if you weren't born in 1983 and you're born in the 1990s or born after 9/11, or whatever age you are, I would just say if you weren't born prior to 1990, that's what life was like as far as what we have to worry about. That film was the worst case scenario we have to worry about at that time. We will worry about this shit on a daily basis. So so this is why I decided to play the trailer for that film, because we have to worry about, crazy people from both sides, and anybody on either side that urges a nuclear attack against an opposing state, they're fucking crazy. And we need to do all we can to avoid a nuclear war. I was telling a co-worker last night that the memories of the 1980s just came back. I feel like I'm back in the 1980s, and kind of in a bad way. I mean, there was a good way. It was like when I was in the 1980s, I was younger. I didn't think I was all that great looking, but I was actually fairly attractive at the time. And, as I said, culturally, I would say the music was a whole lot better and things like that. And there was a little bit of an innocence that I kind of miss. But at the same time, there was a lot of shit that was going on. And there was a lot of wrong takes our society was taking at that time. That's not even connected with foreign policy. It's domestic economics and how we do deal with our trading partners abroad. All that shit was taking place during the Reagan era, and Reagan was dismantling the New Deal consensus that both parties pretty much endorsed after Roosevelt's death in 1945. Both parties were kind of okay with unions. Both parties was kind of okay with Social Security, with a government that actually helped people at that time. And we were on the right track to working toward some kind of semblance of social democracy after World War II. Little by little, we were kind of getting there. And by the time Ronald Reagan came up, he reversed that trend. And not only did the Republicans endorse that shit, so did the Democrats, i.e. Clintonism, which we're still living with today. So we've taken a lot of wrongful steps. So it's just gotten worse since the 1980s, especially on economics and all of that. But now I got to go and worry about World War III. And I hope that we don't go there. I hope that there's not going to be a World War III. I'm hoping that calm minds from all sides will try to reach an agreement to make sure that there's not going to be any worse escalation than it is. Because, nobody's the good guy in this scenario. Ukraine ain't the good guy. Russia ain't the good guy. U.S. NATO ain't the good guy either. There's no good side. The only good people there are the people who have the misfortunes of having governments like the U.S. and their NATO allies with the assholes that they elect, and the assholes they elect in Russia, Vladimir Putin included, and the assholes that they elect in Ukraine. I mean, honestly, sometimes everybody's fucked up, and that's the situation there. And we do not need to. This is so unnecessary on all fronts. I mean, this is so unnecessary, and we need to resolve this shit without it getting worse. That's pretty much what I have to say. And as I said, I'm just having vivid memories that I thought were gone from the 1980s. Now I kind of know what it's like to live with this on a daily basis. And we used to live with this on a daily basis at one time. Now, it happened for so long that you sometimes just kind of like, you went with your day-to-day life and you didn't let it overly concern you. And it looks like that's probably what we're going to head on back to as the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, well, civilization being gone because, assholes in all these damn governments, decided to go and press the nuclear missile button. So anyway, that's just pretty much what I have to say. I'm going to chill out before I go to work. So we have here on the chat line, Hot Retarded Chicks. Hi, how are you? Great seeing you. Hey, and hello, and greetings and salutations. And I am probably going to cut this fairly short because I need to get a little bit of rest before work. So anyway, I am going back to a previous theme song because I'm going back to the previous theme song because it sounds like it came out of the 1980s. So anyway, y'all have a good one. Keep the class struggle going. And until next time, remember, we're all Julian Assange. Sorry. Bye.